So I just picked up a Earthquake rough cut mower, and this is my second brush mower, brand spanking new. I know one of the first things I'm gonna need is a belt. And I did some online looking. I could not find what belt I needed. No luck. So pulled it out, brand spanking new, nothing wrong with it, pulled it out. This is the belt. BX55 is what you're looking for. And just off the top of my head, just out of the box, not even out of the box, literally, I noticed that the packaging is so much better. Very impressed with that. The DR brush mower that I bought a while back was not packaged like this. This is actually one of the best pallets I've ever seen. Like I mean, geez, that's awesome. Structure being bolted down, very happy with that. Very impressed. Just not even out of the box. Okay, let's get this thing unloaded. The DR brush mower came with a smaller itty-bitty battery that didn't have these standard type connections, which I really like. Nice, big, beefy. No, the DR one had these tiny little wires with these, the battery that came with it had these little metal tabs that come up and you press them in, and it was just terrible. On the DR mower, I did an upgrade just like this to upgrade all these wires, and it looks like Earthquake has done that already, so well done. I really like the location of the tank and how it's actually mounted. So on the DR mowers, this tank was actually right here in the front, and there was the muffler was here, and there was a heat shielding panel in between. It was kind of ridiculous. I actually like how this muffler they got it tucked out of the way. This is off to the side, which increases your access area to the belt. And another thing, like I had to do some digging around to get at the belt, to find out what it was. And next thing, I noticed that it's a lot easier to go and service this belt, to get at it, to put it on, take it off. I really like it. The tank mounting itself seems to be quite robust. Metal tabs and stuff. On the DR unit, it was just a plastic box, and they had a metal strap, two metal bands that one come up, over and down, and there was two of them to hold that in place. And on the DR unit, I actually had that fail on me twice. Didn't like it. Had continued issues with it. It was always an issue until I ended up having to upgrade it myself. And so not just the placement, but I really like the mounting of this tank as well. The thing I really like about this, the DR brush mower, had the older system where you had this end off with two pieces of metal and you put a pin through. They've switched over to the ball hitch design. It's awesome. This gives a lot more flexibility, a lot better securement, and it's far less cheap, less things to go wrong. Putting this thing together now, and next thing I noticed that I really like is these guards, these debris guards. On the DR mower, it was one piece. This unit was attached directly to the frame across, almost like directly. Imagine a bar going across here, but this is a separate piece entirely, and it's actually really nice, thick, heavy gauge. I don't know, that's probably 2 gauge steel, maybe 4, I don't know, 2 or 3. Nice, thick, heavy, very impressed with that. Just trying to get this brush guard on here, and my foreman seems to be inspecting the work. Hey. Nice big M12 bolts. Very happy with this mount up, and 5 of them all across. I like it. So we're attaching this front bar here. Kind of impressed. This pin on the unit was capped over with this thing. It was pre-oiled, which is cool, although I took the time to grease it. And then, like, lesser companies would probably just throw a pin in there. Earthquake has done something better. I'm kind of impressed with this. Cap goes on top, and a pin goes through as well. I'm very impressed. Little detail. Yeah, this is super satisfying. Lesser companies would just have just the pin, but nope, they're gonna put this cap on here. After about half an hour, 45 minutes of use, light use, just grass only, the belt came apart. Not a big deal, I was expecting that. I saw that in the reviews. A lot of people said this belt that it came with wasn't the greatest. So again, highly recommend anybody that's buying this right off the bat, get yourself another BX55. And just kind of looking at this, a guy might be able to do something crazy and oversize this. But we'll see how an actual proper belt works in the future. But yeah. very happy with the layout of this. This design, it's much more open. Everything's easy to get at. I like how this is overbuilt. The brake, the idler engagement, all of that stuff seems to be very well built. I really like these to help hold the belt in place. And these pins, there's 2 here and then there's 2 further back in there. I really like that one. Lots of issues with throwing the belts with the DR unit. This does not seem to be an issue with this machine. For a little bit of pondering, I realized that there was a screw loose behind the impact gun during assembly. And so these brush guards are to be installed like so. Not like so. Much, much more effective this way. So don't do what I did.